Let's go! Grüezi miteinander. Gregory von Lebe stark here. You know the drill, ladies and gentlemen. I first have to make sure that the system is doing what I want it to do. So give me a second, please. How does it sound? Yeah. You can hear me loud and clear. One of the most important aspects of streaming and content in general, people need to understand and hear what you are saying. So welcome everybody to this Friday live session where I get to hang out with our subscribers, with you guys, where we're gonna learn some awesome stuff about the kettlebell, and we're also gonna plug some sponsored content, because most of the time, who is sponsoring Lebe Stock? Well, us. Myself, I'm sponsoring this thing. That's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So, before we get started, I got a couple of things that I want to share with you. But first of all, you know what you're supposed to do. You know it, but I have to show it to you. Watch this, watch this.
Stravo, my name is of no importance to you. Just know this. I sponsored today's video of Lebe Stock. In the back you see my friend Igor. We are both hunting for good kettlebell channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lebe Stock YouTube channel. Or else, comrade, we can't consider you to be a true student of the art of kettlebell training.
Gentlemen, I'm toasting to you, ladies and gentlemen, and I have some great water whiskey. So that's what I want to allude to, ladies and gentlemen, because I am starting a new idea. Listen, a couple of weeks ago, I had this idea. I was like, hey, why not start a mug club? Okay, there's a lot of big YouTube channels who are offering merchandise. And of course, we have some merchandise. I'm not plugging it as hardcore as I would want to do, because I don't want to buy all that stuff and then I'm just having too much clothes to at home. So, yeah. But here I go with this awesome idea that I had. I call it kettle mugs. So this is the mug with the LS logo, but I didn't stop there, as you can see behind. And that's what I want to introduce to you guys first before we get started with the kettlebell, right? So I started with this idea, we call it kettle mugs. And you find it in the first link in the description. So watch this. I started this idea. This is the 8 kg crew mug with the appropriate color handle. Haha! 8 kg, you know what's up. So everybody who's lifting with an 8 kg, that's the mug you have to get. But maybe some of you out there are saying, nah, my man. I am from the... Watch this. How can I turn it? I am from the 12 kg league, ladies and gentlemen, with the appropriate handle. Blue. I love this. And then, wait a second. I'm actually rocking with the 16 kg squad. I'm one of the originals. Why do I call this mug the originals? Because a pood is 16 kg, and this is where this whole thing started. The kettlebell was a market weight, so that's why these babies right here are the originals with the appropriate color. But it doesn't stop there, because I had to rock with all the weights. Check this one out. Who in the chat is rocking with the 20 kg club? The Purple Hearts? Who is it? And of course, this mug is 20 kg heavy. Of course it is. What did you expect? But here I go with the 24 kg mug. This is the 24 kg team. Heavy hitters. Who's ready to rock? And again, see? It's the appropriate handle. And I'm going to mention in a second why I think a mug makes sense. You got to check this out. But this is the 28 kg order. Who's the shot caller, ladies and gentlemen? I'm having so much fun with these mugs. And it's not orange, it's yellow. But hey, man, at least they almost hit the appropriate color code. And here it goes. Oh, this is one heavy. Oh, this is a heavy mug. I need both of my hands. Watch this. The 32 kg alumni. These are the elites, ladies and gentlemen, with the appropriate color. Yeah, I call them kettle mugs. And I thought it was such a sweet idea. And I don't know if it works. I don't know if people like this or not. But hey, I got a lot of mugs right here. And the good thing is when somebody comes and we have a cup of coffee, I can offer them a proper mug, right? And why do I think a mug makes sense? And why do I think a kettle mug makes sense? Well, of course you can do it with any mug, but watch this. Since I've gotten this one, it's a couple of weeks old now. This is the one with the LS logo, right? I drink more water. Because sometimes I spend so much time in my business and working and everything that I do that I don't drink a lot of water. And what I've started doing is I pour in some water, but because I am actually I'm a little bit addicted to some, to just something like this, right? Just a little addiction. I'm not sponsored by them, by the way. But then I pour them in. Boom, and what do I have? I have a distilled energy drink, or it's not an energy drink, that's an amino acid drink, but it has a lot of caffeine. And then I don't want to drink tens of these and then walk around like this and I can't sleep at night. So I'm having this distilled energy drink with a lot of water, and this is why I think a mug makes sense, and I'm actually drinking more water. And I feel it right now because I had to go to the toilet, but I didn't go. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're doing fine, man. It's great to see you guys. Is anybody in the chat hollering? Oh, we have 20 viewers. Wow, awesome. And who's joining? I think Derek is joining. Yeah, Derek is joining. I'm at the appointment for an hour. Can't wait to hop on as soon as I'm done. Awesome. And Rat TV, are you allowed to buy the mugs for the weights you don't lift? No. No, you're not. But of course you are. And hey, you got to get the collection. You got to get the collection. It's just like with the kettlebell. You got to get the collection. So buy the ones you like, of course. And then we have another gentleman in the club. We have Jorge Sepulveda. I love it. So please, guys, if you are tuning in right now, let me know. Do you like this idea? Do you think it is something that I should continue pushing? I think it's not even that expensive. I think it's 17 US dollars or 17 Swiss francs, something like this. And I use this great tool. It's called Spreadshirt. Not sponsored by them, but I just use them because it works so well. It's a drop shipping company. You find a link in the description. You can buy it from everywhere. They produce the mug. They send it to you. And I think it's 17 bucks or something. And I think there are some people out there who want to support the channel. I know. But maybe one of the kettlebell courses, I have a lot of people who think, hey, I want to buy one of these courses, but they're a little bit too expensive, which I understand. But I think the value, it is what it is. So if you're not able to afford it, I do understand. Then we have some people who think, well, I want to become a member of the YouTube channel, which you can. Rat TV, he just joined the club. And then we have another gentleman who just recently joined. That's what you can do as well. But then you pay, I don't have to add a but. You then pay, I think it's $1 a month to support the club, so to support the channel. But maybe you're like, listen, I don't want the membership. I don't need a course. But you know what? A mug? Hey, it's a one size fits everything thing. And that's why I think it works so well. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much for joining. We have some stuff to do. And we're going to talk about double kettlebells. Now, but before we get started with double kettlebells, let me grab a sip of this right now. Oh man, it tastes way better from the LS or the kettle mug. Yeah, way better. You have to believe me. Go buy one. Double kettlebells. I think if you're just starting out, maybe it's just the first time you're connected with us. Maybe it's the first time you're live with us, and maybe it is the first time you grab a kettlebell, or it's a couple of weeks ago you started lifting with kettlebells. You think it's awesome. You found us. And now you think, hey, why not check it out? I want to make this disclaimer before we go through the exercises, because I have 3 exercises prepared for you. Then we're going to do, as we usually do, a little workout together. And then, we're just having fun today with those doubles. But I want to make sure that doubles, I believe, are not for beginners. However, I think this statement is reserved to the competition kettlebells, right? Point right here. The big ones, right? Not the cast irons. Because the cast iron kettlebells are way easier to handle with doubles, way easier than competitions. So when you work with a competition and you think about, well, if I work with doubles, it's always clanking, it's jerky or whatever have you. It requires way more technique than working with a cast iron. So that's the reason why I'm reserving this statement to competition kettlebells. If you want to start with doubles, I recommend mastering the singles first. Yes. With that being said, I have this new thing going on right here, this new Stream Deck, which is it's awesome to work with, man. And maybe some of you guys, maybe you saw the last time I just refurbished some stuff in here. We got a new couch. It looks awesome. We colored this whole thing black. Now everything is settled and it looks awesome, right? And what I really love, what you should see it as well, I got to take this away now. Just wanted to show why you can use a mug or why a mug makes sense. But watch this. Watch the helmet. The 300 helmet. Watch it as it's beaming. Right? It looks at me. I love this. Man, it's the little things. It's the little details. And high production value. That's the goal. That you watch this stuff and you're like, hey, I like what this dude is doing, and hey, it even looks good. I mean, the dude looks good, but of course, the production quality also looks good. So thank you so much for joining. Let's switch to the studio. Let's see if everything's working properly. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. Yes. Look at this beautiful studio. And before I stand up and walk over, of course, I have to make sure that the system is running as it should. So give me just a couple of seconds. Oh, we have 31 folks in the chat. Thank you so much for joining, friends. Let's see. Yep. Yes. Yeah, I can hear myself talking. Awesome. Okay, my friends. Let's get it started. Double kettlebells. Now, if you want to join this live training session with me right now, you want to make sure that you have enough space around you. You place those kettlebells at a place where nothing is in close proximity. And I want you to move with me. This is a teaching lesson, a live teaching lesson. Well, I can't see you right now. I can't give you feedback. Although there is a possibility, if you buy one of our courses, then you get the access to the monthly coaching as well, where I see you and I can give you feedback. But right now, you just want to listen to what I'm saying. So now we're going to cover 3 exercises. The first one is the double deadlift. The second one is the clean, and the third one is the press / the jerk. It's actually 4 exercises, but we're gonna combine the press and the jerk into one set of ideas. Now it gets a little cold in here, so I gotta first grab something. Man, it's always in winter time, friends. Let me tell you, when it's cold, man, I have this ice cold air that's coming from the other side, but hey, it's totally fine. So now I'm well equipped. Let me just switch the mic. Man, it's like you're hanging out with me, right? So hey, I love hanging out with our subscribers. That's what I do. So now let's check out the double deadlift. I think whenever you work with a deadlift, one of the most crucial aspects of training and working when you lift and hoist weights from the floor is you want to make sure that you keep those weights inside your center of mass. So where is your center of mass? It is right here. The middle of your foot is your center of mass. So a great cue that I have from Dan John is he always says V to me. So let's follow Dan John's advice. You have both of your kettlebells ready. Now place them in a V, and so that the V is pointing to you. V to me. Now I step over the kettlebells and I stand a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. And I make sure that the insides of my foot connects with the bell. And that's why I think another reason why the competition is so powerful, because your stance will always be the same no matter what. And you're actually always engaging in the same setup, independent of what kind of weight you're training with. So now, a crucial aspect when we learn the deadlift with double kettlebells is the hinge. And here I go. I can't wait to share this monumental enlightenment that I have received when we were coaching. It was 12 kids, 10 kids, 9 to 11 years old. And there was this one little fella, this one young man who shared something with me, which I'm going to share with you. It works like wonders for your hinge. I always said, there is no German word for the hinge. Until that little boy held up his hand and said, "Coach." And I said, "Yes." He said, "We actually have a German word. It's called Tischli." It's such a cute word, right? Tischli. But what is this in English? Table. Now, think about this. When you are hinging, you're pushing your hips back, right? Your upper body is leaning forward because you want to stay inside your center of mass. Now, here's where a lot of people are messing up. They go down into this hunched over position. Now, imagine with me for a second that your back is a table. If I put anything on that table right now, what happens? Well, this object is going to drop down to the floor because I have this rounded position. Now think about, if I put an object on my back, I want it to stay on my back. What do I have to do? I have to straighten my spine. And now I am like a table. Gosh, this little young boy, he helped me and took my insights to another level. And I can't tell you how we are now even helping our clients to the next level with this small saying. We're like, listen, imagine like you're doing a table. And just today, and I think yesterday as well, we had two folks who always struggle a little bit with the hinge, and all of a sudden, boom, the spine is straight. So think about engaging in the hinge. You want to create a table, a flat surface with your spine. And now I grab both kettlebells with my hands. Now, as soon as I get ready to lift, I pull my shoulders back because I want to engage my lats. I don't want to let my shoulders hang. I want to pull my shoulders and not upwards, but down towards my hips. So now I feel my back, I'm tight, and now I'm lifting and standing up. Boom. And once I'm in lockout position, I have the kettlebells connecting with my thighs. Now, when I go down, I push my hips back. Again, we engage in the hinge, the table motion, and we drop the kettlebells back down to the floor. Now, there's one crucial thing that you want to think about when you do a deadlift. Don't think about pulling the weights off the floor. Think about pushing the floor down. And I just recently, I don't know if any one of you guys are playing video games, but I just finished God of War for the third time, and a new one is coming out in I think 2 months. So there's one position or one situation in that video game where Kratos, the guy, the protagonist, is lifting a temple. It's crazy, but he's lifting something, and he lifts it like this. And the boy tells him, in the video game tells him, lift with your legs, and that's what he does. So imagine you're like pulling something, that's engaging your legs, and then you are properly moving the weight with your biggest muscles, which are located in your hip area, right here. So don't think about pulling, think about pushing your legs into the floor. And as we drop the weights back down, watch what happens. I want to show you what happens with my shin bone. Watch my shin bone. Do you see this? I am not moving back and forth. What is happening if my knees move forward? My hips move forward because my knees are attached to my hip. So what my hip is doing, this is what my knee is doing. This is where the control is. Don't think about your knees, think about your hips. So you don't want to fall forward on your toes and now my shin bone is moving forward. No, I want my shin bone to stay vertical, almost vertical. And that's how I move, and that's how I make sure that my hip is backwards. Don't move back and forth. And I know this maybe requires some time and some adjustments, especially we call this, it's a very fancy word, it's called proprioception. This is where you want to learn, or your body, it's not a learning process. Your body, when you stand in time and space, your body is sending signals from the floor up to your brain what kind of surface you're on. That's proprioception. Now, your proprioception is a little bit challenged when you start lifting weights. So you have to make sure, I love how Squat University says this. He says you have to imagine you're on a tripod stance. This is the heel, this is your toes. This is how you place your feet down on the ground, right? So that's how we do a deadlift. Let me demonstrate once again. Hips go back, upper body leans forward. Try this with me now. We have a very crisp hinge. I grab the bells in the V to me position. I lift the bells up. When I'm on top, think about this. I want to push my hips into the bells. Boom. Okay? I fully extend my hip. I'm squeezing my glutes. Chest is up. And then, bam, coming back down. Back up. Back down. Back up. Back down. Another crucial aspect of the deadlift that many people get wrong is they start moving their cervical part of the spine. Another very fancy word for your neck. Okay? I just want to sound very, very smart. That's why I'm using these words, right? So, if you start moving your spine, think about, I love this description. We call it a locked spine. You have 3 movable parts in your spine, okay? This is part 1. This is the hip. Part 2 is in your upper back area, and part 3 is in the neck area. So as soon as you start lifting weights, you want to lock your spine. I'm locking this part, this part, this part. So what happens if I'm now hinging? I look towards the floor, a little bit in front of me. I do not do this. We call this broken neck syndrome. Think about double chin. And your neck follows your back. So once you're on top, you don't have to look down, you look straight to the horizon. Down to the floor, up to the horizon. And Yuri Verkhoshansky, a Russian sports scientist, even says that according to his studies, we lose strength if we disposition ourselves, or if we start changing the alignment of the spine, or if we don't align it properly to the task at hand, we lose strength. And I think he says the neck, I'm not sure, I'm paraphrasing, but it's up to 20 or 30%, a very huge number. So make sure you're locking your spine. So that is the deadlift, ladies and gentlemen. And I always have this fear that something's not working, so I have to come back and see if everything is nice and tight. Sure, yes, it is. Oh, and Jim Fields, thank you for the $5 donation. Wow, awesome. You guys are killing it. Thank you so much. So now we've learned the deadlift, right? This is the proper one. I think one of the most fundamental and basic exercises you have to do. And if you ask me how many deadlifts are you doing, I do all of them. And I do them year-round. Deadlifts are year-round in my program. Just yesterday, I had this great conversation with Sensei Joey Alvarado, aka Kettle Jitsu from California. And we talked about the fundamentals. He said, listen, it's all about the fundamentals. Because I asked him about, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, what's his name? Gordon Ryan, the guy who just won this huge jiu-jitsu tournament. So I asked him, well, what did Gordon do different? And he said, well, nothing. No fancy stuff. He just mastered the fundamentals, and it makes it look easy. So if that applies to jiu-jitsu, It applies to basketball. It applies to football. It applies to all the sports out there, that the mastering of the fundamentals is so important. Then that's what we do with kettlebells as well. Yes, there's some fancy stuff, and we're going to touch a little bit of that fancy stuff in exercise number 3, which I still consider one of the basics, but it's more advanced and a little bit more complicated to learn. Yet at the end of the day, it's all about mastering the basics, and then once you master them, kill them. Kill the basics. I think even after your 1 millionth rep of a jerk, snatch, swing, or deadlift, or whatever have you, you can still optimize it. And this is the way to think. How you're always able to think that there's a little bit of wiggle room where you can still optimize the basics. And I guarantee you, you will become not only a kettlebell master, not only will people respect your form, but you also get in shape, lose fat, become stronger, be more flexible, all these powerful, beautiful benefits that the kettlebell entails once you pick it up for a spin. So now let's check out the clean. Now we get a little bit into that fancy territory. Now with the clean, I want to show you 2 different versions. And you have to decide which one you want to stick with first, and depending on what you've been exposed to first, either kettlebell sport or hardstyle, then maybe you are gravitating towards one or the other modality of the clean. So let me just demonstrate the clean for a second real quick. Hey, what's up, Gypsy? Master Gypsy's in the house. Want to say hi to everybody, big boy? Good boy. Good boy. So, that was variant number 1. Now, let me show you variant number 2 of the clean. Now here comes the fancy maneuvers, and now it's getting hot. So the fancy maneuvers. And yes, we're gonna geek out a little bit. That's what I always do on these Friday lives. And then these folks that are watching are the ones who are just as geeky as me about those great exercises. So what happens in variant number 1? In variant number 1, we used the so-called, there's a couple of ways to describe it. Double bent knees, pendulum leg action, or the Russian pendulum. Watch. Demonstrating it without kettlebells. Watch what happens. Backswing, extending knees and hip. Extending knees, bending the hip. Now I come up, bending the knees, extending the hip. Bells come up into the rack position. Dropping the weights, watch this now. Bending the knees, catching the weights, extending the hip, bending the hip, extending the knees. And now in slow motion. Once again. The pendulum. This Russian pendulum is great for efficiency, and you use it in the double clean. You use it in the snatch. You can use it even in the swing. You can use it in the clean. You can use it almost everywhere. It is the idea of creating an efficient pendulum where the weight travels almost all by its own, where gravity does almost all of the work. You're catching it, you let yourself go with it, and then you come back up. The other variant is, I call it the deadlift variant, or the deadlift clean, because you just learned now, right? Okay, this is a deadlift. And we can clean it that way as well. And now that's why I think it gets a little bit fancy, and sometimes it's maybe hard to understand, because we now just discovered what the deadlift looks like. And now we do a similar movement pattern. And now if you try to learn the pendulum leg action or the Russian pendulum, this may confuse you, okay? Which is totally normal. So now let's just check out the deadlift clean. Backswing, clean. Bending knees and hip, clean. Bending knees and hip, extending knees and hip. Bending knees and hip, extending knees and hip. Way easier to learn. And now let's cover one thing which my mentor, Dan John, said. And one of the reasons why he doesn't like competition kettlebells. And that is, he said, they always bang, gang, 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 they clang and bang, right? Especially if you grab lighter weights. So let me show you this with 2 8 kgs. And hey, if you want to get some additional entertainment, just watch what Gypsy's doing. He's always trying to crash my stream. You're trying to stream snipe me, right, boy? He's trying to stream snipe me. Wo ist die Platz, Schatz? Komm hier. Lieke. Lieke. Fertig. Good boy. Now watch him. Watch Gypsy. Watch him. Now he's on his back. Now he starts. That's what he does. He always does this. So great that it's on stream. It happened live. So what Dan John was referring to is this. I'm exaggerating. The clanging and banging. But if you fine-tune your skills, it sounds different. There's still a little bit of that clanging going on, but it happens in the backswing portion of the lift. And why I think I understand where Dan John is coming from. But here comes the clue. When you drop the kettlebells and you engage into that pendulum leg action, this one, watch what you do. It's with the single, it's the same. You have the bell in the rack position. Now you drop it. How do you drop it? By turning your palm towards your face. So if I do this, the kettlebell wants to drop because gravity starts pulling, right? In this position, I am able to rack it, but as soon as I turn it, it wants to drop. Now, what do? Here it comes. I do not interfere into the trajectory of the kettlebells with my muscles. I don't use my muscles to interfere with the kettlebell as it travels back and as it comes back up. But since we are human beings and we're used to grabbing everything and holding on it for dear life, we have problems understanding that we can actually use our hands just as hooks. So if I fine-tune my skill and I just let it drop, and I wish I could show it to you a little bit better. As I drop it, I'm completely relaxed. I'm really as relaxed as possible. That's why I say this type of clean is like Bruce Lee is saying. You want to be like water. Water finds its way. So I translate this into thinking that you have to understand when to relax and when to contract. So if you are having that trouble, that it's always clanging and banging, maybe in that case, you're better off learning and trying the way the hardstyle guys do, or just the deadlift clean. Watch it again. Right? And it takes a little bit of time to adjust for the size of the kettlebell. And it takes also time for you to understand how far and how wide you have to stand. So that is the clean, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let's focus on the press. Let me demonstrate first. We have to rack the bells by cleaning them. Now we understand the clean, and then we press them. I interlace the kettlebells. One handle touches the other. And now I go up, thinking that I want to press the handles up first. And watch the way I grab it. Can you spot it? I don't even grab it. It just hangs on my frame. And let me show you from the front side, from the front view. I don't go out. I think about keeping the elbows as well as my hands in that middle line. Watch as I'm going slowly. See this? And see how the handles are pointing up slightly? The handles are a little bit higher than the bell. And once I'm at the top, I fully extend. And now I'm opening up my chest. And I don't flare out. I keep the arms close to my body or close to my head. And as I come down, what happens? I push my elbows forward, my upper body leans back slightly, and I'm going back into the rack position. Again, I'm thinking about, okay, which kettlebell comes first so that I can interlace the other kettlebell over the other, right? In my case, the left drops first, the right follows. And in your case, this doesn't have to be the left side first or the right side first. This doesn't matter. It's just all about interlacing the handles, and then you hear this beautiful symphony of this clanking noise. This clang, I love it. It's just like when you push a plate into a barbell, it said zap, bang. I love that sound. Right? Right, boy? Do we love that sound? We love it, right? Good boy. So now that I've shown you the press, we're just going to cover the jerk in a we don't want to go too deep on the jerk because now maybe you're a little bit warmed up, you're a little bit antsy, and you can't wait to engage this whole thing into a very easy workout that you can take with you, that you can keep forever and do it all year long and have great results with it. So now, it's the same thing. I have both kettlebells racked, elbows close to the body. Now what do we do to get up into the jerk? I am dipping, bumping, second dipping, extending, rack. These phases are called dip, bump, second dip, top fixation, rack position. Now try to follow this with me. No weights involved, no nothing. We do it weightless. Elbows close to the body. Now try. Dip, pushing your knees forward. Keep that position. Do not push your hips back. Keep that position and think about your quads. Do you feel that there's some, it starts burning a little bit? You feel the weights on your quads? Then you're doing it right. Now let's go into the bump. I call it the Michael Jackson move. On our toes, fully extending ankle, knee, and hip joint. Arms go up. And as I extend my elbow as well as my shoulder joint, I let my body drop. So I bend the hip and I bend the knee as I'm extending the shoulder and as I'm extending the elbow. And then I finish the exercise by standing up into the top fixation. And then of course I have to bring the bells back down. Now, what is characteristic about the jerk that you probably see me do is when I drop into the second dip, watch what my hip is doing. And I just had a great feedback from a kettlebell coach who said, it's important to think about the second dip a bit more than about the bump. It's not about just bumping the weights all the way up because you have to understand what kind of weight you're working with. You want to win by really mastering your second dip. Now, as I'm extending the weights up and as I'm going up into the air and as I'm dropping down, I want to make sure that I'm able to relax my legs as much as I can as I'm down in that position. And now, I told you to observe my hip, right? Can you see how my hip is pushing back a little bit? You don't have to mimic this. This is a crucial thing that I've learned along the way. Depending on your hip structure, it may be that your jerk looks like this. I don't know if I can even demonstrate it right. So I have the mobility and the flexibility and the proper anthropometrics to drop my hips way back into the second dip. And I don't even think about my knees that much. I think about my hip as I want to really just relax. But if you are taller and you have maybe some, not even issues, it's just your flexibility and mobility is a little bit different than mine, then maybe your hip does not go as far back as mine. Totally fine. And I think that's a crucial aspect of training, and when you learn these lifts, is that you will develop your own unique style at the end. Yes, you follow all the fundamentals, but your own style will crystallize itself after you've mastered it. And if it looks a little bit different than somebody else, totally fine. And one thing that Steve Cotter shared with me, my sensei, which I think is also very valuable, is you want to try to mimic people who are approximately your size and your weight. So I am 170 centimeters tall. I think that's 5'7", 5'6", something in United States numbers. I'm 70 kg body weight. I'm a lightweight guy. That's 140 pounds, 150 pounds-ish something. So if you look a little bit like me and you have a little bit of a shorter torso but longer arms, but you have long legs and especially long tibias, then maybe your style looks a little bit similar to mine. Don't ever think for a second that you have to mimic everything that I do to a T. I've made this mistake and I thought, well, it has to look like this guy. And I realized, well, it doesn't. And who cares? I follow the fundamentals and I'm having results. Okay? Let's recap. We have the deadlift. Oh, wait a second. I wanted to show you what the jerk looks like with the kettlebell, right? Watch me. And I think the jerk is something, it still takes me. Sometimes I have a good rep, sometimes I still think I have a bad rep. But thank God the good reps are now overweighing the bad reps. But if you do it right, you feel it instantly. And another thing which I think is so highly crucial, what Dan John shared with me is, he said, when you are learning something new, sometimes you have to kick monkey brain off the ladder, boom, and then just let your automated system do. Don't think too much then, don't think too hard, just try. Especially if you know all the fundamentals. So now let's recap. We have a deadlift. We have a clean. All variant 2. And then we have a press. Or if we take it a little bit further, we have a jerk. So now, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to create a little workout that you can follow right now. It's fairly simple. It uses the 4-time method as well as the unbroken method, and it's easy to memorize and easy to replicate. And before we start with the workout, if you have any questions, please let me know down in the chat, because when I go back to the office camera, then I'm going to plug the kettle mugs again, because I want everybody to know that these awesome mugs exist. And then I want you to like and subscribe, and then I'm going to answer your questions if you have any. Otherwise, if there's no questions, we're going to finalize the stream, okay? So now, let's think for a second. Now we have a deadlift, we have a clean, we have a press and a jerk, or press jerk, right? So how would I structure this? We can just say, well, let's just do a deadlift, a clean, and then a press and a jerk, right? But I see, from my coaching perspective, I see a little problem, right? It's not even a problem on a huge scale. But if you use with weights that challenge you, it probably is. If we do a deadlift, and then we continue with a clean, and then we continue with a press jerk, in the clean, I'm already having these kettlebells racked and they don't touch the floor again. So when I do cleans, no touching of the floor. And then I follow up with a press and a jerk where the kettlebell, again, doesn't touch the floor. I may be a little bit challenged. And especially if you are a little bit advanced, but still a little bit on your beginner side, but you've mastered the fundamentals, you've mastered the basics and the singles, and now you jump into kettlebells. I always want you to think about creating a workout that not only makes sense, that not only gives you a lot of bang for your buck, but that also respects breaks and necessary pauses for your joints or whatever have you to relax. And again, if we combine the deadlift and the clean again, we work the hinge twice. Not a biggie. Of course you can do it. But how about this? We start with the deadlift, okay? So that's the first thing that we do. So what do we work with the deadlift? We work the hinge, right? We work the legs. We work everything that's involved. We work the back. Awesome. Now, how about switching in the next exercise to muscles that haven't been used as much? If we now use a press, watch what happens. Now I'm switching to the anterior side, to the front side, right? So now I have to press. In the first exercise, I had to pull. Now I have to press. And because I have to rack the bells in front of me, my anterior side, everything that's in front of me has to work. Isn't this a great addition or a great synthesizer or equalizer to the deadlift? It is. And then we can finalize with a clean. Or we can even take another step and say, well, listen, I think the clean and the press together is a little bit too tough. How about we start with the clean first? Now I'm thinking a little bit differently. And then I drop the weights down and relax. And instead of relaxing completely, I do deadlifts. Yes, I work the hinge twice, but in that regard, I'm able to drop the weights and get a little bit of active rest in exercise number 2. And then in 3, I rack the bells again and have to work. And then I can do maybe a little bit more work in a shorter set of time, even though I'm not as advanced, okay? So just want to share you what the coach's mind is thinking when I see these 3 exercises. And yes, we can still say, well, something is missing, and that is the squat. Well, of course, you can add a squat. You can do a deadlift, a press, a clean, and then a squat. Of course you can. But I'm just using these 3, and yes, my quads still get a lot of work done, even if I do the deadlift or the clean and in the press or the jerk. Hey, in that area, when I dip, here I have my quads firing and working. And even in that regard, before we get, I know I talk a lot, but I just love that stuff. Think about the kettlebell. It's always almost, if you use it properly, especially with doubles, full body. Yes, deadlift is maybe the front side is missing a little bit, but in reality, your whole body is working. With a press, your whole body or jerk is working. With a clean, your whole body is working. Always think about that the kettlebell is not the typical bodybuilding type of instrument that rationalizes and isolates muscle groups. Hey, boy. It's all about combining and using compound movements. That's what I think most, if not any, or if not almost all kettlebell exercises, if you use it properly, the way I think you should use it is. So now, are you ready to lift? What we're going to do is we're going to start with a clean. Then we're going to follow up with a deadlift. And then we're going to follow up with the press. So that's round number 1. And round number 2, we're going to do the clean, the deadlift, and the jerk. Okay, we're going to do 2 rounds. So we have 1 minute per exercise, unbroken. This means this adds up to 3 minutes of total volume. Then we take a break after those 3 exercises. A break of maybe 30 seconds or a minute, whatever have you. I'm going to choose 30 seconds. So that's 3.5 minutes of volume in 1 round. And like I mentioned, we're going to do 2 rounds, where in the second round, in the final exercise, we're going to substitute the press with a jerk. Understand? Great. So now, what I always like to do if I work for time is I want to prep my systems first, give my body enough time so I don't have to run around. So the timer is counting down. We have 20 seconds left. Man, this cable is touching me in places where I don't want it to be. So we have 10 seconds. Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? We're gonna start deadlift, clean, I'm sorry. In 3, 2, 1, ready? Let's go. One more, and then I'm going to switch to the other variant. We have 20 seconds to go. Rest a few seconds. Let's go into the deadlift. Ready? Place your kettlebells V to me. Let's work. Make sure your back is straight or your spine is straight. Think about when we're in the bottom position where the kettlebells touch the floor, I want to make sure that my back is like a table where I can put an object on that doesn't fall to the ground or to the floor if I am holding tight in that position. Now it may be your lower back starts firing a little bit. It's totally normal. Last one. Now rest a little bit. And we're going to jump into the press. Whenever you're ready, clean those weights up. Make sure you keep your elbows close. Last one. Now let's get a little bit of rest. 30 seconds. And then we're going to do, again, clean, deadlift, jerk. Now I'm going to grab the 8 kgs because I was doing some heavy stuff at lunch, and I'm always a little bit careful because I know my body pretty well that I don't want to overdo it because tomorrow we have another session going. So relax a little bit. Now we're focusing on the clean again. Get ready. And it's also a great way for me with these light weights to think about my technique, think about my form, think about how I can perfect it. One more. Relax a couple of seconds. And here goes the deadlift. Whenever you are ready, let's do it. Even when it comes to 8 kgs, now I have 16 kg, which is fairly light for me. I always respect it. I do not care whether it's in 48, whether it's 80 kg, or whether it's 8 kg. I want to think about proper form. I want to think about treating the weights with respect, because believe it or not, I rarely use double 8s or double 12s. My main weights are not double 20s and double 24s, but I feel that I'm starting to get a sweat on. I'm starting to break a sweat. And also my body is requiring some additional oxygen. Now, if you have to stop for a second, or previously, that's totally fine. This is not a competition. It's about doing it properly. Now let's finish with the jerks. Whenever you are ready, come on, folks. Let's get this. Clean it up. Rack the weights. Jerk. Oh, these one felt good. Couple of more. And here you go. 7 minutes of work. You do this 3 times per week for the next 6 months. I guarantee you gains and results. I can't guarantee you stuff, right? Depends on different factors. But that stuff works. No fancy crap. The fundamentals beat everything. I hope you enjoyed this session, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget to do this.
Stravo, my name is of no importance to you. Just know this. I sponsored today's video of Lebe. In the back you see my friend Igor. We are both hunting for good kettlebell channels. Make sure you like and subscribe to the Lebe YouTube channel. Or else, comrade, we can't consider you to be a true student of the art of kettlebell training.
When I filmed this ad, this like and subscribe ad, I had COVID. I'll always remember this. Whenever I see that stuff, that's when you do a lot of videos and stuff. I remember I had COVID. And my God, I had the Alpha variant, the Terminator variant, and boy, that was tough. But I think 2 or 3 days later, I was grabbing a 16 kg and I was like, ooh, that's heavy. But I was able to manage it. So hey, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into, maybe I have some questions. I'm going to check out the chat in a second. But hey, we have a couple of folks in the chat, 22 to be exact. Please check this out. Please check this out. Now I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to share that stuff. I'm going to share that stuff. I'm going to share that stuff. Oh, well, some donations. Oh my God. Hey, what happened? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to donate, but of course, I most definitely appreciate it. I really do. But hey, check this out. I truly appreciate the donations, but check this out, please. What I just threw in the chat. Check this out. I got to pin the message. Now, where does this great link take you? It will take you, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kettlebells, and that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Check this out. Now, this, of course, is the LS mug. But I'm going to do this beautiful game once again. Are you working out with an 8 kg? This one's for you. Then you are part of the 8 kg crew where it says new kids on the block with the appropriate handle. Have you advanced to the 12 kg? Then you belong into the 12 kg league, the first responders. Your body is now responding, and of course you have this beautiful color code. But wait a second, have you managed to lift the originals? And do you belong to the 16 kg squad? With the appropriate color, of course. Then you are an original, because this is where that stuff started, right? This is where it started. And give me a second, folks. Gypsy, hier, wo ist dein Platz? Gypsy, wo ist dein Platz? Wo ist dein Platz? Good boy. Warte, Schatz. I told him, where's your place? Where's your spot? And then he knows, okay. Because sometimes he's running around and making noises, and then he's making me nervous. And then I'll tell him, hey, yes, guys, I say, quiet. Yes, we're almost done. Almost every Friday, he's always with me. But hey, wait a second. Are you part of the 20 kg club, the Purple Hearts? Unfortunately, no lila, a violet handle, right? But hey, black works as well, right? Hey, that's your mug. I'm not stopping, because what is the next? Quiz question. What is the next weight in the kettlebell family? Do you belong to the 24 kg team, the heavy hitters? This is where I belong right now. I'm at least in the doubles. With singles, I'm able to go pretty high, but with doubles, this is my spot right now. With the color, I just love that. I'm having so much fun presenting these. But wait, do you belong to the 28 kg order? Are you a shot caller? It's yellow. It's supposed to be orange, but they only have yellow, but it works well. It works as well, right? Now. Ha-ha! Okay. Are you one of the elites? Do you belong into the 32 kg alumni? Then you are most definitely are going to see red. With the appropriate color. Cutter mugs, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's a funny idea. It's a cute idea, isn't it? And I think it's $18? And hey, oh, wait a second. It's 20% off. I'm not joking. It's 20% off. Watch this. Gotta share my screen for a second. Watch this. Hey, can you see the screen? Yeah. It's 20. Watch this here. It's German, but of course it's worldwide shipping. 20% Rabatt auf alles. This means 20% off everything. And you can click this, and bada bing, bada bang, bada boom. You can get yours. And ooh, this is the Death Star mug. This is the Death Star mug. Man, I gotta get this one. This one. The black one is going to be reserved for limited stuff. Let me tell you. It's $18.49. This is a little bit more expensive, but most of them are, as you can see, $17.99. And look, man, they look great, don't they? You drink more water with this, trust me. It's one size. That's the only thing you need. Kettle mugs, and it perfectly for the dishwasher. No worries, no problem. The print is resists everything. Man, I'm having a hard time translating stuff. But you got to go get it. You get what I'm saying, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's check out if we have some questions. Oh, Igor wanted to jump in again to say, hey guys, you got to like and subscribe. Do it. So here we are. I love Rat TV's question. I think that's Adam, right? Is that Adam? Brother, is that you? Are you allowed to buy the mugs for the weights you don't lift? You're only allowed to buy the mugs for the weights you do lift. If I see you Walk around. Hey, I guarantee you this. If I see you walk around with a 32 kg, with an elite, hey, I want you to be able to hoist that stuff. If I catch you drinking one of these, and then I'm like, hey, where's your 32 kg? And you're like, oh, I borrowed it. I gave it away. A friend has it. Then you're going to get into some serious trouble. No, I'm joking. Of course, you can. It's a collection. Buy the collection, the kettle mugs. And let me know in the comments. I think already some of you told me that it's a cool idea. Please let me know if I should pursue this any further, if I should push this. Because, man, at the end of the day, if you guys don't like it, I'm not going to push it. And I'm going to throw it off the shelves. But, you know, if you do what I do, I'm always thinking about new stuff. I'm always thinking about new creative ideas to celebrate the passion and the power of kettlebells. And maybe I hit something. You're like, hey, yeah, I like this. Think about it. So now, Raja saying, love your fitness content. Thank you, brother. I lost. Guess I need 2 12 kg mugs, but I have adjustable. Oh, you got me, brother. Hey, I lost. You got me, brother. Adjustables. Okay, chat. You got to help me with this one. We have 21 people in the chat. Now, I came up with an idea, right? So 8 kgs called the crew, 12 kgs called the league, 16 kgs called the originals, 20 kgs called Purple Hearts, squad, 24 kgs called team, 28 kgs called order, and 32 kgs called alumni. So maybe you get where I'm coming from. I always use a great word for the word team. So chat, can you come up with a name for the adjustables? What are they called? What are they called? And what should we write? What should we write on this? I mean, 0 to 32 or something? 0 to 32 kg, and then it's the I don't know, the squadron or whatever have you. If you have a great idea, please let me know in the chat. I love this, the adjustables. I gotta write this down. You guys are giving me questions. I gotta write this down. Excuse me for a second. You know, I have my little thingy right here where I write stuff down. So yeah, I have to make sure that these ideas are kept, because I have learned not a long time ago, but I learned that your brain is a bad storage. Is not good when it comes to memorizing and storing great ideas. So it's the adjustables. Guys, please come up with a great name. Help me out. Adjustable mug. The adjustables. The adjustables? Hey, it's just like the Expendables. The adjustables. Hey, what do you think, guys? Do you like that? The adjustables? These are the Expendables and we are the adjustables. I like this. I like this, man. See, when I hang out with you guys, I get creative ideas. So now I gotta go fast because Gypsy has to go. But he's gotta take, you know, he's gotta do his business. But let's see. Greg obviously doesn't buy his tables from IKEA. You know where I got this table from? I got this table from Vente Unique. Oh, Janos Aradi, new subscriber. Thank you for joining, man. Yeah, I got this from another supplier, but the previous one was from IKEA. The last one I bought there turned into a cupboard and some screws were left over. Jim Fields, love your channel. Thanks for your solid advice. Thank you, brother. Thanks for the donation, man. Wojak, oh, $20, my man. Happy Friday, friends. Love my kettlebell. Thank you so much, man, and happy Friday to you too. Luis Tapia, 2000 CLP. What is this? I always got to find stuff out. I love languages. I love different cultures and countries. And I always have this, what is this, CLP currency? What is, Chilean pesos. Hey, wait a second, brother. How much did you? Hey, man. Brother, thank you so much, man, for those 2,000 Chilean pesos. If that's it, right? I truly, truly, truly appreciate it, man. 100%. Thank you so much, brother. Awesome. So, where was I? Really struggle with the clean and jerk. Can't get the timing right. Rap, man. Let me tell you, I wish I could tell you guys, well, just do this and it will be better. Yes, there are minor adjustments and details, but repetitions is the mother of perfection. It is what it is, man. I tend to end up in a push press rather than a jerk too. Alas, well, don't worry about it. The jerk is just the difference between the push press and the jerk is that you fall into the second dip with the jerk. And what I recommend if you want to learn the jerk is just practice the movement patterns, the dip, the bump, the second dip, the top fixation, and the rack position. Practice this without any weights. Just do it weightless. Yeah, it's a double dip thing. Real men just grind the weight up anyway. Yes, you just pull it up, brother. Double dipper right here. Oh, that's a great, that would be awesome for a mug. Double dippers. We are the double dippers. Gotta write that stuff down. Man, I'm having fun with you guys, man. Thanks so much for being a part of this. Double dippers. I'm a double dipper, bro. I'm a double dipper, brother. All right. Question, in the left hand clean, sometimes I feel stress on my inner elbow joint when bringing it down. Am I subconsciously holding the weight or is it leaving my body too far from the torso? It's maybe both. It's maybe both. If the weight goes way too much away from you, what might happen is that you create additional energy that your body has to capture or that your body has to bounce off of. And additional energy means your body has to then catch that energy, which costs, in the end, more energy from your side. And then it's the proper word is velocity. You create more velocity with the kettlebell. This in turn requires more energy for you to work. So make sure the arch or the arc, it's arc, I think arc, right, in English, is close to the body. And I got something for you. And let me just switch back to the studio real quick because I got to show you this. And I'm gonna be quick. Look at my boy Gypsy, how he's very patient. Isn't he a good boy? He is. So watch, when you're having trouble with the elbow, a lot of people actually have this when they feel some tension right in that spot, and then it starts hurting. Maybe it's flexibility, mobility. Maybe people are suffering from a tennis elbow, right? It's the English word as well. There's a simple solution in most cases, and that is just turning your thumbs backwards, but not overdo it, that it starts internally rotating your shoulder so that it starts hurting, just a little bit. And that's what it looks like. Watch. You start like this. You clean it and then you drop it. Watch. And can you see how small my arc is? And how can I compensate this? By leaning back. Okay? Tried it. We call it the backhand. Just like in tennis. So, exercising late at night life is going to keep me buzzing at bedtime. Yeah, most definitely. Wish I could join in, sitting on a train. Next time, Alice, try it at home. No, no excuse. I love this. You're in the train and then you're rocking. Hey, get out of my way, boy. I feel it in my biceps near the end of the clean. Does it mean my hinge is fatigued or not effective? Am I using my arms? You're probably using too much of your arms, Rat. Fit with ease. Interesting. Doing swings, jerks, etc. in a train against gravity in opposite direction. The train is moving while on a shifting platform. Could be a new trend. Oh, my man. You guys are having great ideas. It's the kettlebell. I'm on the kettlebell hype train. Yeah, on a moving platform. And when it stops, ooh, you have to. It's full stop, boom, and you have to really be tight. I like your train of thought. You guys are killing it. Anthony Agins, appreciate you, Gregory. Going to start 90 Days of Kettlebells tomorrow. Awesome. 90 Days of Kettlebells in the building. Thank you so much for joining, brother Anthony. And Godspeed to you. Super core builder, yes. Alas, could introduce some rotation elements to the exercises. However, for that, I already have club mills. And when you do rotational stuff, yes, club bells are awesome. And maces. But you can also do windmills. Windmills and bent presses, I think, are such an awesome way of adding rotation into the mix. Bro, it's 7 minutes. No way it works. It does, Rafael. It does work, most definitely. If you say like, hey, it's 7 minutes of work for a beginner with doubles, it's going to crush you. Don't underestimate the power of doubles, and don't underestimate the power of working with working for 1 minute. Greg said it wasn't a competition. I put the doubles 64s down. What make of kettlebells is this, Alex? It's it's competition kettlebells. Bunny Kisses, just wanted to share my recent goal, a 20 kg, right? 40-pound Turkish get up, and I'm 60 female. You go for it. Most definitely. Do it. Derek, these marks are awesome. Can't wait to nab me the 16 kg one ASAP. Also, that's all I can nab because now I need to buy some other weights to it. That Terminator song was perfect and incredible. Oh, Terminator, guys. It is what it is. Damn, you're ahead of me in the stream. I feel like I'm watching the shopping channel. It most definitely is. When you see me do stuff live, I always got something to sell you guys. Most definitely. Yep, it's Adam. I got it. 20% auch auf Tiernahrung. Ja, genau. Cool. Buying the 20 kg, awesome. All for one, awesome. All for one. Oh, a name for the adjustables. Oh my God, you guys are killing it. All for one. I gotta write this down. The adjustables, all for one. Love it. Love it. Thanks for the demo. You're welcome, brother. I should clarify, I did make my goal. You got this. Oh, 20 kg Turkish get up, 60 years of age, female, 100%. We're rooting for you. Awesome. Congrats. You got this. Amazing demo. Much love, Greg. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Eric. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's it for the day. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I truly appreciated hanging out with you guys. Make sure to check out. We're almost live almost every Friday. And yeah, make sure you get those kettle mugs. The kettlebell mugs. You find the link in the description as well as in the live chat. So thank you so much for joining. Friends, I wish you a happy evening and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
If you're looking for kettlebell courses that can help you lose weight, build muscle, and improve your kettlebell technique, then check out the Lebe Academy. Let us help you discover a new perspective on kettlebell training, making it simple and easy for you to understand. Join the waiting list of your desired course now and secure your spot when it's open for enrollment. Link is in the description.